It's a truth, universally acknowledged, that Doctor Who Series 6 is hailed as absolute crap by such a large portion of the fan base. And if you're thinking, did she really just take Jane Austen's first line from Pride and Prejudice and mix it with Doctor Who fandom? Yes, I did. I'm not ashamed of it. Jane Austen, Doctor Who. Haha. It should have happened a long time ago. Hello guys, welcome. Or if you've already seen my channel before, welcome back. I'm the Philadelphia Whovian. And for this video, it's talking about that supposed atrocity, Series 6 of New Who. Okay, there is a large portion of the fan base who hails this season as very bad. I'm going to make it very clear my feelings right from the very get-go. I don't see it. I don't look at this series and think, oh my god, this is all bad. I look at this series and I see a series that has an overarching story that does not work really very good at all. It doesn't. But like many other seasons, there are lots of very good episodes in it. And I look at things as being the sum of its parts. Not just its conclusion, but also how was the journey along the way. That's what I see it as. And I don't see it any worse. I definitely see it, I also regard it as better. So I don't see it as any worse than many other series in New Who. But I also regard it to be better than some of the other series in New Who. And I feel less bad about this because I believe that some fans, someone described it very well. They said Series 6 is the season that ages really well. She said, I absolutely hated the season when I first saw it. But then I went back and rewatched it and she said, why was I angry? Overall, the season's very good. It's a very good season overall. What was I so upset about? So, without further ado, I said, let me actually go from beginning to end with each episode. I'm going to dissect each episode and my feelings for it. I'm not going to go into too much analysis of each one, just a general overall concept, because I don't want this to go too long of a video. I don't want to talk your ear off, as I've done so before. So the first one we have is The Impossible Astronaut, Day of the Moon, the two-parter written by Steven Moffat. And overall, I know the majority of the fan base loves this story, so I know I don't have to really defend it all. But I do want to talk about this one moron I saw here on YouTube. Yes, I think it's okay to bash another reviewer as long as you never mention their name of their video really that much at all, and you make it clear that there's no possible way you could figure out you're talking about that person. But I'm gonna be honest, this one person who I just completely disagree with, they bashed this season saying, now Doctor Who is trying to pander to America. This is an Americanized season. All because there was one two-parter in the very beginning that took place in America. Well, I guess Moffat's probably trying to, build on his fan base in America. Very true. This moron, I'm sorry, you're a moron, conveniently did not see the hypocrisy of this, because in Series 3, there is already a two-parter that took place in America. And also, the President of the United States was at the end of the season in Sound of the Drums. And then another reference is made to America in Series 4, where the Adipose in turn left. How America is going to help Britain because of their situation. But they, unfortunately, a lot of them got turned to Adipose. And let's not forget the fact that in Classic Who, there were actually characters with American accents coming in there very often. It could have been actors doing American accents, or it could be American actors that got to do it. Either way, these are American-sounding characters. Then you had Perry, an American companion, in the 5th/6th Doctor era. And then the Doctor actually does go to America in the first Doctor's era, I believe, in the episode The Chase. Unless I'm remembering that episode wrong. Doctor Who... What a moron. I'm sorry. This is so stupid. Doctor Who has always wanted to go to different countries and does its best to go to different countries. It just simply has a budget. It can't go to different countries as often as it probably would like. For you to wait until Moffat takes over to say that Doctor Who is now becoming Americanized because of one two-parter. in the series, knowing and being mad at him for not doing what Russell T Davies did. When Russell T Davies did do the same thing, it just goes to show you how off the rocker. Sometimes people in their desire to bash Moffat can't see how hypocritical they're being or how nonsensical they're being. But overall, this is a darn good story. My God, it's amazing. It's absolutely wonderful. And I love it. Then we have the first weak spot in the series very early on, The Curse of the Black Spot. The Curse of the Black Spot is one of the stories I feel very bad for, because I'm so sure it looked good on paper. I'm so sure. And if you're a person who loves this story, it's fine. I get why, because it is a good concept. And there are so many good elements to it. The idea of the siren really being an alien and then touched to another space vessel, it actually is a good story. There's just something about it that does not come together, because you're on a ship that's becalmed. There's no way you can keep up the pacing, and really in a story like that. But I see all the potential here, and I feel bad it just did not turn out well. But I see the concept behind it. Then we have The Doctor's Wife. Oh my God, I love this so much. The Doctor's Wife is such a good story. I freaking love this story so very much. If you don't like it, fine, but I freaking love it. And I know a majority of the fan base loves it. Call me sexy. Then we have The Rebel Flesh, The Almost People. I have seen this get in some top 10 worst lists. If you saw my top 10 overhated list, you know I don't hate this story. In fact, I like it a lot. I don't even see the problem with it. No, seriously. When you give me a problem with this episode, then I'll hear you. Up until that point, it does a good job of building up to the next episode. A good man goes to war. I also very much overall really love this story, because it's the idea of when the doctor says, good men don't need rules. Now's not the time to find out why I have so many. What it makes it show you is that this doctor, this incarnation of the Doctor, is different than previous incarnations, as you see in many parts of Series 6. Not many incarnations, his previous incarnation, the 10th Doctor, he's going to be different. He understands the fact that in a world where, the universe, where things are spinning out of control, sometimes even good men have to go to war. It's more nuanced. It's more complicated than just black or white. There are shades of gray in here. I find that to be more realistic and more embracing of what the Doctor was for a while for a great portion of Classic Who. The Doctor understood things could get complicated. They really could. You always had a breaking point. What I mean by that is, the Doctor always believed in peace until there was just no chance and he had to fight. And people around him had to fight too. The Doctor understood that sometimes there's a certain point where it's like, you know what? Sometimes a good man has to go to war. So I like that story. Then we have, for the next one, the next week's spot, Let's Kill Hitler. Okay, guys, when it comes to Let's Kill Hitler, I blatantly admit, I don't hate it as much as other people, but it's not because I'm not aware that it's got problems. Oh, it's got problems. It's got major problems. But here's the thing. The reason why it doesn't sting me that much is because I got into Doctor Who very late. So when I got into Doctor Who, the whole season of Series 6 was already out, which means I did not have a long time to wait until Let's Kill Hitler came out. So I did not have all this time in the world to expect something so grandiose and awesome and therefore be let down so easily. No, I already was aware of Let's Kill Hitler. There was no time for me to get this super hyped feeling about it. It was just another episode to me. But I'm aware, oh dear God. Okay, here's the thing about Let's Kill Hitler. I love the Tesseracta. I love the Doctor, Amy, and Rory. But everything about River Song in this, I just overall don't like. I mean, I'm like, if you could just have changed this episode and removed River Song from out of it and had us discover when they find out who she is later, like when they come in contact with her later, if we could have just moved that somewhere else. And with Let's Kill Hitler, it just be focused on the Doctor discovering the Tesseracta and then having to chase the Tesseracta around through history, trying to catch up with it as it's trying to punish people for their past crimes, and then maybe even beginning to sympathize with the ending of the episode with him sympathizing with the Tesseracta and maybe even understanding that it's complicated. That would be more more enjoyable than what I feel like I got with River Song. But if you like River Song on this, it's okay. Each to his own. You're fine. You're awesome. Please just don't hate me for disagreeing with you. Then we have Night Terrors. Another episode I've seen get on some hated lists, and I don't know why. It was a lower budget episode that literally worked with its budget. It worked so good with its budget. It did what it had to do on a limited amount of money, and I'm proud of it. No, I like it. Smaller story, more contained, and I'm fine with that. Then we got The Girl Who Waited, which is a heartbreaking masterpiece. I'm not gonna say any more about it. I know a lot of people love this story because it's heartbreakingly good. Oh god, it's so good. Then we have The God Complex, another episode I've seen get on some hated lists. What the hell? Overall, this story is great. It's a good throwback to the Horns of Niemann while still being creative enough to give you a different feel to it. It took the monster and brought it back, but it did different things with it overall, or different things with the idea of sacrifices. That's what I like about it. Take a classic Who idea, but give something very unique to it. And that was very good to me. Closing Time. A lot of people know my feelings about Closing Time. It's an episode that I overall very much enjoy, up until that blow them up with the power of love crap. Why did it have to end like that? Why did you have to do that? But overall, I do like everything else about this story. And then we get to The Wedding of River Song. It's horrible. It is absolutely horrible. Okay, I'll say this. The first 5 to 10 minutes are very entertaining and very unique. Oh, I'm into that. Or maybe the first 15 minutes. And the last minute, where Dorian is shouting out Doctor Who as the doctor turns around with the cow, and then boom, it fades. But there is just so much about this story. I mean, while there are some moments here and there that I like, it's just that the more I think about it, the more I'm like, oh my god. What I would give for this to have not been the finale. It was an episode, and then the next episode immediately afterwards was The Angels in Manhattan, or The Angels Take Manhattan. I can't remember what those. Where even though The Angels in Manhattan, or Take Manhattan, is not my favorite angel story by far, I feel like it's the least terrible between The Wedding of River Song and The Angels in Manhattan. I feel like in fact, it would have, by just moving The Angels in Manhattan to after The Wedding of River Song and having that be the ending of the season, then The Wedding of River Song would have just been another episode in the season and not the finale. The Angels in Manhattan would have shocked audiences so much that it would have lessened the sting that was the crap fest, The Wedding of River Song. I just feel like it would have. I feel like it would have. And this way, it would have given us a chance for Series 7 to immediately start out with, because there would be no Dr. the Widow in the wardrobe, it'd be maybe, even though I love the character Madge Orwell, I love Madge Orwell, but it would have started out with the episode The Snowman. We never would have gotten that. And then The Snowman, then you had the Asylum of the Daleks, where the doctor's by himself in the asylum, and he discovers Clara Oswald. And the ending of The Snowman was removed, where you didn't find out about, Clara Oswald being an echo of other people. No, that was not there. She just dies. Then you see her again in the Asylum of the Daleks, and then you would get the Bells of St. John, then maybe you could get Dinosaurs on a Spaceship, and then you would get, let's see, The Rings of Akaton, and then you would get, I'm trying to think of The Power of Three maybe, or A Town Called Mercy, either way, and you have Brian, who's a good character, I love Brian, Rory's father, now it's Clara's father, Brian and Clara's father. I just would have thought maybe that would have been a cool situation where Amy and Rory, their ending was the end of series 6. That would have been such a bang. It might have lessened the pain that was the wedding of River Song. But mind you, that's just my desire or my long-time consideration. It would be a better idea than what we got. And for all I know, that might not even be the right idea. I know a lot of people like Amy and Rory being in series 7 part 1. And I love Amy and Rory. I just feel like, I just would have preferred if we just had Angels in Manhattan earlier, just to remove the sting. Remove the painful sting that was the wedding of River freaking Song. Anything. But my point about this season is, it's a season I said it's the sum of its parts. Where when I take all the episodes and I dissect them individually, I like a lot of the episodes. There's only one episode I absolutely hate, The Wedding of River Song. Then there's Let's Kill Hitler, which half of it I like, the other half I don't like. It's wasted opportunity. And The Curse of the Black Spot, where I don't like it. But I see the potential behind it. I see why that was a good idea. I do. And what do you want me to see? Like, why? There was at most 3 bad stories in a season. 3 bad stories for me personally in a season? That is still a success of a season. All of the episodes, almost all the episodes up until this season had at least the majority of them had at least 3 bad episodes. And I don't see people holding that against Series 1. I see some people holding against Series 2. I see people all the time hold against Series 3. And sometimes people hold against Series 4. But honestly, really? Oh, 3 episodes suck, so the whole season sucks? That is extremity of mindset to me that I just cannot agree to or adapt to. I don't want to adapt to it. I will look at them all individually, and if I like the majority of a season with its episodes individually, I like the season, and it sucks that the finale sucked terribly. It sucked. The overall arc of the season was not good. But honestly, this is another reason why I have a theory that it'd be a good idea if Doctor Who just went back to being episodic in its seasons, where every episode is just an episode, and this final episode is just another adventure. By constantly building up to things, these finales ended up often jumping the shark. This is not the first bad finale in New Who. It's not. There were even a couple of bad finales in Classic Who. It's just sometimes when you're trying to go over the moon awesome with something, you end up making a mess of it. That's what happens. Jumping the shark can ensue. But overall, I don't hate this season. Is it my favorite season? No, it's not. Is it a terrible season? I think we're a little bit too harsh and extreme in our judgment for it. If you do not like this season, it's fine. Guys, it's fine. But don't call me an idiot or say, oh my god, you're foolish, because I do like it. No. There are a lot of darn good episodes in this, and I'm sticking to it. So guys, did you like Series 6 of New Who? Do you hate it? Either way, we're all awesome. Peace and love. But I like it. I like it a lot. Whoop, there it is. Peace out, guys.